Moved away from the park facility. We're kind of really into the core elements of the nature that's here, and this was an important part of this this tour, this walk in the woods, to talk about a forest in danger, because this is wildlife right here. You have a lot of beaver activity, amphibians and reptiles all sharing the same place. You have upland habitat behind you that supports all this ecosystem. And this is where we felt it was a good segue to talk about Audubon's message and Nature Conservancy's message about loss of forest habitat, impacts to ecosystems like what you see in front of you. And this is indicative on the Invenergy site as well. There's some forested wetlands that occur that are proposed to be filled in some areas and impacted greatly. And these are the type of areas that would be impacted as a result of this. So it's really important that we talk about those types of issues and why it's important to save these and what the impact is on, again, on water quality, forest loss.
We had set up the hiking trail previously. It was a one log crossing. That's all it was. What's happened here is the beavers are great engineers. Before we built dams and dam things up, this is what they would do. They would come into areas like this, have their dam, have a lodge, and create wetlands. This was an upland area, pretty much a little bit of a floodplain here. We're also noticing that we're picking up different species. We got red maple over here, dead tree, you know. So we have a lot of different things. You notice a lot of activity. We're headed back into an upland, natural bowl here, which would have caused the stream. We're picking up our white pines, a lot of our oaks. We've noticed chestnut coming through here, a lot of different varieties. The other thing that we see is occasionally a stone wall. Now, the stone walls are mostly in Pulaski Park. Throughout the management area, it was primarily used for grazing and charcoal. Most of this area was acquired in the late 30s, early 40s, part of Roosevelt's deal. They had the New Deal, where they put people to work, and they did a variety of different things. They also helped people with raw land, and they purchased almost 3,000 acres out here, late 30s, early 40s, $5 an acre. So it was really kind of hard to believe, but one of the first management areas is right across the street that was given by the Edgewood Women's Society, almost 100 acres, which is now Dorley Park. So there's been a lot of things. This area hasn't changed much. So it was acquired, it was federal land until almost the 60s. So it's been federal land, now it's state land. Very little has been added to it, but it's just stayed this type of area. Probably 90 to 100 years old are the majority of the trees out here. It's an even age management area. We've done some management out here, some selective thinnings. We did some clear cuts up in the upper areas. Because it is even age management, we tried to change things up to encourage other wildlife. We were looking at trying to encourage first successional neotropical birds and a variety of different things. The more variety you have in a forest landscape, the more diversity and richer your wildlife will be.
Here at night, I've actually had the opportunity to do that on a few occasions over the years. It's really unabated night sky here. It's dark. There is no light impact here. The nearest light impact is 395, which is about 6 miles, 8 miles to the west of us. But to the east of us is really Chepachet. That's the nearest light source. But that's it. But you'd see an orange glow. You wouldn't see the smokestacks necessarily from here. Bowdish, on the western edge of Bowdish, you might see them. I don't think they've told you that yet. But you'll see an orange glow here, much like Ocean State Power Plant brought to the Black Hut management area adjacent to Spring Lake, which didn't exist before Ocean State was constructed. It's that orange glow that's over the horizon when you're down at Spring Lake at night to the north. That's Ocean State Power. You come down here at nighttime to enjoy the night sky and what wildlife might be here at nighttime. And, you know, right now you'll see unabated dark sky, but you'll see an orange glow that would be new on our horizon here. So it's of notable concern.
There's a Connecticut Corner market. So this You're in Connecticut. We're in Rhode Island over here. So this backs up into the Patchogue State Forest. Just because land features don't know boundaries, that's why it's the Rycon Grid.
The final talking point here is obviously what we're looking at here. It's recreation. It's all about the ecotourism, about the enjoyment of the open spaces that we've been provided in this area, and the impacts that this proposed energy plant will have on this area. The ecotourism, the money that generates, in the hundreds of thousands of people that visit this area every year and spend their money up in this region, it's going to have an impact on it. It's not going to be so great. And this is the reason why. Any given day you have people swimming, fishing, hiking, and you get that in all legs of the George Washington Management Area and Pulaski State Park area. And that's the similarity between that site and this site. It's just a stone throw away, and it's important that we preserve this because this was meant to be preserved.